but thank you so much for popping up. We're going to go and get that next guest up in here. Thomas, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on Venmo. Everybody, please show some love to Thomas down below in that comment section. Thank you, Thomas. Dude, 200 W's for Thomas. Then Kathy with a $15, 100 W's for Kathy. Thank you. Kathy says, I just love listening to you. Thank you for getting me through my workday. Oh, Kathy, I love you, and I appreciate you for your support. Huge W's for Kathy. What's going on, Joe Still? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I actually did.
All right, why did you vote for the Don?
Okay. So, Dean, I watch a lot of your content. All right. So, to make a good note here, I didn't vote for Donald Trump because I like the man 100%. I voted for him because it's the leader that takes this country to new levels. And I guess, what is your opinion about Donald Trump that makes him so bad in your eyes? I know you have a lot of opinions about him, but like, what is it?
Well, you said that you are a frequent consumer of my content. I feel like you should know those opinions.
I definitely do, but that's why I asked you, right here and now. Like, what is the 1 to 2, maybe even 3 things? Actually, no, screw the thing. What is the number one reason why you hate Donald Trump so much?
The number one reason why I hate Donald Trump so much is he's a horrible, narcissistic, self-centered, unrelentingly good at not giving a fuck about anybody outside of himself guy.
That
I
may be
feel like I
true.
feel like that is the reason why Donald Trump graved Eugene Carroll. That is the reason why Donald Trump's economic policy only serves to people like him, super rich people. That is the reason why Donald Trump was willing to dehumanize and use migrants as this collective cause to scare prejudiced white people into voting for him, causing harm to the migrants. That is the reason why he
So,
told
do
over
you not
30,000
believe
lies
in
during his
his
first
immigration
presidency.
policies per
Not in the
se?
slightest.
Okay. So, you don't agree that the influx of immigrants coming to this country was not necessarily a bad thing? Or are you saying more of Donald Trump's way of attacking that was bad?
Well, I actually agree with the two things you just said. No, I don't think the influx of migration into America was a bad thing, and I don't think that Donald Trump's way of attacking it was good. Both.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair to say. I take the opposite stance on that and say, I mean, I live in Massachusetts, so we are a very blue state. I'm also a Democrat, by
Did
the
you
way.
know that?
I voted for Trump.
Did you know that a man just killed his fiance because his fiance was an undocumented migrant, and before he murdered her, he looked up, is it legal? Is it okay to kill an illegal human on Google?
Well, of course, it's not okay to kill anybody, and it takes you right back to like, why is Donald Trump so bad?
Well,
Why why
the
why
reason
is it
why I
okay
brought
for
that
him to
up
do
was to
all this? Why is it
demonstrate why
okay
his
for
rhetoric
Elon
is
Musk
harmful.
to say that again?
The reason why I brought that up is to demonstrate that his rhetoric is harmful. I mean, seemingly this Google search before this murderer murdered demonstrates that because Donald Trump has perpetuated the dehumanization of undocumented migrants, calling them illegal aliens, that this is literally leading to the murder of undocumented migrants due to dehumanization of them. This guy literally
Well,
didn't know if it was okay or illegal to kill an undocumented migrant. Like,
okay,
how
I
have we
I
gotten
feel
to
like
such a low
everything.
point where we are just unsure on the morality of killing humans because he thought that they were a quote unquote illegal?
Okay, okay. A lot of the things Donald Trump says, I will completely agree with you. They're absolutely crazy. They are out of this world, and I don't think many people in an elected office should be talking that way. But with that said, do you think that the last administration would handle these problems anywhat better
I do.
if they kept saying the same things they do? I mean, Joe Biden sat in office
But is that all?
and no press interviews, never answered questions, never said anything. Does much get done out of that administration, or does more get done with a guy who's willing to say whatever the fuck he wants to say?
Well, I say we play a game. Do you like games?
I love games, Dean.
Well, you'll love this one. You believe that the Biden-Harris administration was ineffective, correct?
Well, what? Sorry?
You believe that the Biden-Harris administration was ineffective, correct?
I didn't say that, no.
Well, that's seemingly what you implied, saying that they didn't do much, didn't answer
I was
questions,
more of
didn't do anything
implying
for
that
America.
if Donald Trump spoke the way he did, okay, let's put it this way: if Donald Trump spoke like Joe Biden in every press conference, answered all the questions in the same, I guess, monotone way, because we're both agreeing here, like in this is form of debate, that Donald Trump says some outlandish things. If Donald Trump went about his words very similar to the way Biden and Harris went about their words,
Okay, well, let's not lump Kamala
I
Harris
just
in
don't
with
think it would
Biden.
be as effective. We have a president now
So,
who says the
so you're
things he
saying,
wants to say.
so you're saying that you voted for Trump because he's more, um, he better at speaking. He's better, more better. He's better at speaking compared to Kamala Harris.
No,
I can't speak.
I voted for Donald Trump
So then why did
because
you speak
his
for him?
whole rhetoric. Okay, so Donald Trump's whole rhetoric is a strong man, a guy who takes a bullet, yada yada yada, right? All the things that all these libs and Democrats hate, right?
Because
That he's
he's so
so
you
big
voted
and so
because
awesome
you
that
voted for Trump because he's strong.
I voted for Trump because he's willing to say the things that the last administration would never say.
He's like what?
I mean, talk about the way immigration was handled. What let me ask you this, Dean.
So you
What
voted
other
for Trump
way
because he had
what other
more.
way would you think?
Because he had. So you voted for Trump because he had more strength in his rhetoric about immigration.
No. What I'm saying is Donald Trump
Dude,
has more ability.
am I just like, am I just unable to understand a single word coming out of your mouth?
I think you are, because what I'm saying is Donald Trump says the words on the news. He says all these immigrants are horrible for this country, but we can both. I guess we both can't agree, because you don't think immigration was a big problem in this country in the last administration.
So
I'm
why did
curious
you
to what
vote
you
for
think about
Trump?
that. I already told you why I voted for Trump. He's willing to speak the words that no other person was willing to speak.
Was Hitler also
And
willing to do that?
I mean, one could argue the way Hitler spoke, although awful acts he committed, the way Hitler spoke got stuff done in his country.
So would you have voted for Hitler?
I would never vote for Hitler. I'm not a man full of genocide. I'm a man full of love. I think Donald Trump definitely speaks some hate, but I think the words he says get stuff moving, whether it's a negative or
What?
positive
Wait,
reaction.
that was literally
I
what you that is what you just said about Hitler. So I just want to clarify. Every single thing you're saying right now, insofar as denoting the reasons to us why you support Trump, are things that you just affirmed to be true of Hitler under your worldview.
I think the rhetoric pushing that Donald Trump is Hitler is false.
That's but you're actually the one that's doing that right now. You understand that, right? I'm not the one making a comparison between Trump and Hitler. You're the one making a comparison.
You just asked me.
Absolutely.
No.
I
Dean,
asked
Dean,
you
Dean,
if what you're
Dean.
describing
No,
of
you
Trump
just
is
asked me.
also a true of Hitler, and you affirmed it. You're the one that affirmed that there is a true comparison
You're the one that put
between the
that
reasons why
connotation.
you voted for Trump and facts of that you think were true of Hitler.
Okay, but your claim that I just compared the two is false. You initially bring Hitler into the conversation. I did not compare that to him, because I wouldn't compare it to him. Sure, you could say that I
But
said something that
you
Dean
affirmed the
also said
comparison.
something.
You affirmed the comparison. Okay, you described that you voted for Trump because he's willing to say things that other candidates are not willing to say to get shit done. I then asked you if Hitler was willing to do that exact, precise, identical thing, and you said yes. Okay, so would you say that there's a true comparison between Trump and Hitler under your view?
That's like saying I said something that you said, but you introduced it first. This is completely irrelevant. I'm not making the comparison to Trump and Hitler. They're obviously not the same people. They weren't born at the same
I'm
time.
asking you
They
if there's
definitely
a.
don't do the same things they did.
I want a yes or no. Is there a true comparison between the reasons you just described insofar as why you voted for Trump and Hitler?
If you're referring to the way Hitler spoke and Donald Trump spoke, there are certain little bits of language that I would not compare. The way Hitler spoke at his rallies and his meetings to get everyone riled up, I would say is very similar to Donald Trump, but I'm not comparing them as people.
Okay.
I'm comparing.
So you told us that the reason that Donald Trump speaks, etc., is why you voted for Trump, and Hitler also did something very, very similar, right?
I guess the way you're saying that is going to contradict myself, but that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, Joe, if you don't give me an argument in the next 30 seconds why Donald Trump is a better presidential candidate than Kamala Harris, that's logically consistent, and you can't contradict yourself in like the 30 seconds following, I'm going to remove you from the live.
Is that what you do in these? I'm just curious. I will actually give
Yeah,
you my thing, but
no, precisely that's what I
okay,
do. If I
because
can't have if I can't have an argument that I could fully understand to approach with a response because it either makes no sense or you're contradicting yourself at every
is that a
opportunity you
debate,
get.
Dean? Is that a debate, or are you
Those are the
self-proclaiming yourself as Hitler?
so those are the
Because
what?
that's what Hitler would do. Because that's what he would do. He would silence anyone that couldn't make a solid argument against him, and if he didn't like it, he'd remove them. Is that essentially what you're saying?
So you're
If
saying
if,
that
if I can't give you
so
an argument,
wait, I just want to understand. So you think that because I think you're a dumbass that makes me Hitler? Yeah, get the fuck off the live. Moving on to the next guess. Guys, I just said that word, so it's likely that I'm going to get this live taken down.